haven't seen him yet.
Well, good luck.
Thanks. She clicked off her phone and rubbed her eyes. The Tasty Freeze, where she'd spent so much time in high school, was gone, the ice cream cone sign on its pole dismantled. Nothing had moved in to replace it. The hokey ice cream stand had been the only place to hang out, unless one of your friends had a car to drive into Pueblo, an hour away. More kids must have had cars these days, or Hope's Fort had fewer kids. Since high school, she'd only been back here for holidays, when the town was at its bleakest. No wonder it always depressed her, but maybe she wasn't being fair. Halfway down Main Street, a cop had set up a roadblock, a single hazard barricade pulled into the middle of the pavement. The one officer manning the checkpoint climbed out of the car, which was parked on the curb, and held up his hand, directing her to slow down. Smiling, she stopped and rolled down her window. "Well, officer, you got me."
Evie Walker? Hell, it's been years.
He wore a starched blue uniform, but the blonde crew cut and bulky shoulders were the same. Johnny Brewster had been a linebacker in high school. He'd gotten a little rounder in the middle since then. "Who thought giving you a badge was a good idea?"
Me and some of the guys had a little too much to drink and drew straws. I got the short one.
Ouch.
Can I get you to pop your trunk while we talk?
Checkpoint searches. In Hope's Fort. Amused, she popped the trunk lever, then climbed out of the car. She put her hands in the pockets of her green canvas army surplus jacket and leaned against the door, while Johnny opened the trunk door and made a survey of the contents. 2 filled gas cans, blankets, a roadside emergency kit, and odd bits of travel detritus. Her suitcase and a few gallon jugs of water were in the back seat.
"Thanks," he said. "A lot of folks aren't this understanding."
"I'm the last person to complain about security." He looked away and muttered,
"I guess so."
With better checkpoints, her mother might still be alive.
"You have a permit for the extra gas?"
She'd brought the gas because she hadn't wanted to face fuel rationing or closed gas stations on the drive across the desert. The slip of paper was in her glove box. "I didn't think security restrictions would be in effect out here."
"Rules are rules. We have to keep track of people coming in and out of town."
"So shouldn't you have roadblocks at either end of Main Street?" He shrugged, unconcerned.
"We only have enough people for one checkpoint."
"They have real checkpoints in L.A., she said. And lots of them, at every major exit and interchange. It sometimes took all day to get from Pomona to Hollywood."
"I bet. They also have a reason for 'em. I don't know how you stand it."
He slammed closed the trunk.
"How's your dad?"
This was Hope's Fort. Everybody must have known about him. "I haven't seen him yet. You probably know better than I do."
"He says he's fine."
That sounded like her father, always cheerful. "I should probably get out there." Johnny pulled the barrier out of the way. L.A. had automated titanium barriers, while she got back in the car. "Thanks, Johnny." For 3 generations, the Walker family had lived in a brick ranch house on a few acres of prairie. Evie's grandfather had grown up on the farm the land used to be part of. The farm had long since been broken up and sold, except for the token parcel and the house to which her grandparents had retired. They'd died when Evie was in college. Evie's father had lived in town and worked as a mail carrier until 5 years ago, when he took his own place in rural retirement. Evie still thought of it as her grandparents' house, a place she went to for holidays and backyard adventures. Her father hadn't changed it much when he moved in. He took over the furniture, the heirlooms, the pictures on the wall, the shelves full of books. At first, Evie had had trouble thinking of her father as anything more than a house-sitter there. But over the last couple years, when she noticed that his hair was gray and that he had started wearing bifocals, he reminded her more and more of her grandparents. He had stopped being a visitor and metamorphosed into the house's proper resident. She was his only child, and the house would come to her someday. By the time she retired, there'd be nothing left of Hope's Fort, and no reason to be here. Except it had been the place where her grandfather and father had grown up. She supposed that meant something. Later in the afternoon than she'd planned, she pulled into the long driveway behind her father's 20-year-old rusting blue